What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cover Price Top 10 show. It is a very special one. It's for October 13, but we are freshly wrapping up one of the biggest Comic Cons of the year, New York Comic Con. And hey, one of the panelists here actually had boots on the ground. That's right, Izzy, you just came from there. Man, you got to tell us before we go round the horn and say hi. How was the con, dude?
I slept twice today.
No need to say anything else.
Great answer.
5 days. Every day I went home with a huge smile on my face.
Yeah. No kidding, dude. You got to do so many cool things, man. I was living vicariously through everybody's posts, but yours in particular, man. You were like on an escalator with Todd McFarlane himself or something.
Yeah. Me and Todd, now I can talk to him in first person because we're friends now. You know what I'm saying? We're best friends.
I call him T. I call him
T. T-Dog. I call him
T-Mac.
T-Dog. No, I can't call him T-Bag. No, so it's so funny because I ran into Todd at least 4 or 5 times throughout the con, and it was just happenstance. So there's things I can complain about New York Comic Con, specifically the Javits Center, how they handle press and things like that. So I think it was Friday. It was Thursday. It was Thursday or Friday. It's one of those 2 days. I can't think anymore. They're all the same day to me. And they wouldn't let us in the building, Todd including.
Wow.
Because we had press passes and things like that. So they wouldn't let us into the building, and it's like 8:00 or something like that. So the trick is to go, guys, you didn't hear from me, but the trick is go to will call. Just say you got to go to will call. Even if you have your badge, you go to will call. That way you get inside the building.
Smart.
And then usually you could go inside. And there was special locations for us. So there's a spot where, press and everybody could just go, relax and chill. The door is supposed to open at 10:00, but that should be like available to us like on the spot. They're like, no, not till 10. I'm like, we're press. Shouldn't you let us in beforehand so we could get this stuff done? And it was like, oh, no. Exhibitors could walk all over the place. But then when it comes to press, it's like, yeah, no. I'm like, the last people you should piss off is the press. Because we're reporting it like right now.
There you go. I feel you. But regardless, when you did make it into the con, you had so many awesome things take place. You were there for 5 days, dude. Like you were there from Wednesday last week up until yesterday. And there was so much going on. Like I said, man, I saw your posts. I saw so many posts. My entire timeline, my feed was filled with everybody at New York Comic Con. I was both envious, but at the same time, living vicariously through all these posts because, yes, man, I saw so many people from the community, some of you even in this chat, you on this panel, Laura was there, Bird City was there. I saw so many people.
I was looking for Laura. I had no idea where she was. But that happens all the time.
How many people were there?
That's how that happens. It's like there's a few people, a couple of my friends that I didn't get a chance to catch up with, and for all of us, we were like, let's catch up here, let's catch up there. And then the thing with a con like this, you always have to go somewhere. So if you like schedule something, you got to keep in mind, you got to keep to that schedule, or it's you throw it out the door. So like I had to reschedule a couple of interviews. Yeah. Just because of that same reason. One of them happens to be Adam Hughes that I had to reschedule multiple times before I got a hold of him. So,
but you got it.
But I got it.
That's all that matters.
That video is going to be dropping soon. So no worries. You guys get to see that video among other videos.
That's amazing, man. Congrats to you for, having a very successful 5 days. I can't wait to see the content drop. Myself and Travis didn't get to make it out to New York Comic Con, but no, Travis, besides that, how have you been? How was your week?
I'm great. I had a fantastic week. I am the proud fan of a 500 football team for the first time in like half a decade. So that's great. Things are looking all right. And the Cowboys lost, so heck yeah. But, other than that, it was a great weekend. It was awesome. So, yeah, I'm having fun. I've been having a lot of fun seeing a lot of the announcements from New York Comic Con. Just really, really, really cool things happening, and I don't want to spoil anything. Obviously, I'm sure we're going to get into some of that tonight, but some really exciting things there was a little bit of something for everybody. I felt like this year, and that's awesome. And so yeah, just excited to be here, excited to hang out. Happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian friends. Super, super, super jealous that you guys get it a month early, but it's fine. Whatever, it's fine.
Dude, I gotta be honest, man. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians all weekend long. I've been eating horrifically. I just finished eating turkey. Like, I've been partying all weekend up until maybe 15 minutes before going live. Like, I'm so stuffed. But yes, it was an amazing time. I know you guys get Thanksgiving as well in about a month's time, right? So
Yeah.
feel free to send me an invite. Either Izzy, Travis, let me know.
Well, that's the nice thing is we get it on Thursday. So our Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday, regardless of what happens, right? It's always going to be a Thursday, but that also means that I get Friday off too. So
oh yeah,
baby,
long weekend every year.
Let's go, long weekend. But yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We have a very interesting list tonight. Of course, the top 10. We had New York Comic Con. We also had Peacemaker. So this is going to be a fun list, an interesting list. I hope you guys had a chance to, if you didn't make it to New York Comic Con, maybe you got to watch Peacemaker. Yes, we had the season finale, but tonight's list, of course, the top 10, we're going to go through those books that sold on the aftermarket. We're looking at the sales in bulks. We're looking at all of these sales on the aftermarket. None of the set covers and stuff like that are going to count towards this, because I will address that afterwards towards the end of this. But yeah, lots of New York Comic Con stuff to talk about. So let's kick it off with tonight's runner-up. What do we have?
So, of course, the runner-up is New York Comic Con 2025, the Artist Alley Zine #1. This was a Ryan Otley limited edition, limited to 500. We're going to hear that term a lot, limited to this week today. It'll happen a lot. This has a top sale of 100 near mint. You're also going to be hearing that term raw near mint, because most of these never got slabbed. This was the book that they gave at the New York Comic Con booth. So if you went to their booth, you should have been able to get this book. I think it was going for about $25 to $35. A lot of people didn't know about it until it was too late. So therefore, as a result, this was a book that people started to seek out after the fact. It's a Ryan Otley. You got a cool Invincible, as well as, oh my God, her name's escaping me, guys. Who's the girl?
Adam Eve.
Yeah, Adam Eve.
Man, you put me on the spot and I completely lost it.
Like it was one of those moments for me. I was like, did I just go dumb for a second? And, yeah. But and even the older man giving the candy, I think he's supposed to be a Viltrium or something like that. I'm not
like Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, exactly. But it was one of those books. It's the Comic Con book. So they actually did way with the program. They didn't have any programs this year. So if you wanted to know everything, you had to go through the app. However, this was their exclusive book. It's cool to see it in this list.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, Ryan Otley, obviously, Invincible is just continuing to boom year after year. It seems like every time we get a new season, we get another big Invincible swing. Some people, like me, buy them at the wrong times and whatever. I made bad financial decisions. But no, it's cool to see Ryan Otley get so much credit. I mean, he's obviously fantastic. This is something that I would have loved to get my hands on had I been there. I think it's just really cool, and plus, I just really dig the this cool Halloween themed, kind of kiddish Invincible kind of thing. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I dig it a lot, man. I'm happy, like you said, Otley is getting so much attention, man, and this is really cool. Sorry, Izzy, you said you had to obtain this. How exactly?
So the way you would get this is you had to go to their booth. This was a book that was not available outside of any other place. So it wasn't like it wasn't like a Ryan Otley exclusive. It was a New York Comic Con exclusive. Another thing that's worth noting is that there was a special blank edition of this comic that had a gold trade. So the trade was gold foil. That was another book that was part of it. I know they were giving those away at the Retailer Summit that happened on Wednesday. So if you were a retailer, you were able to get the gold one of this, which is just a gold blank. That's technically it's a program. It was more of a program than anything.
Yeah, that's wicked, dude. Now, guys, at the beginning of the show, right before, giving the segue to get into the books that we're going to talk about, which kicking off with the runner-up, I may have gotten sidetracked. But we did get a super chat, man. Patel. We got to address this because Patel's asking one tough question here. Thank you so much for the super chat, but he's asking Fantastic Four 2, which is the first appearance of Skrulls, or Fantastic Four 4, first Silver Namor. Travis, which one are you going with?
I am going Fantastic Four 2.
Yeah.
I like the Skrulls, and it's an earlier number in the series, so I'm grabbing it. I don't know. That's just kind of where I would go. If they're both the same price, I'm probably going FF2. Izzy?
Yeah.
So a second first appearance is not a first appearance.
That's a little bit. That's a little bit of my mentality too. Honestly, that's a little bit how I feel.
And I've been taught from being a little child never to trust the Skrull, regardless of what Captain Marvel the movie tells me. I still don't trust the Skrull. I just can't trust them. So never trust the Skrull.
So with that, your first pick is
All
right, Lando.
I think it's a clean sweep, guys, because I went Fantastic Four 2 as well, man. I dig. Look, I love the Fantastic Four 4 first Silver Namor. I love the cover as well. But that yellow cover on Fantastic Four 2, man, that pops. That just pops.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's everything about that book that is more preferable to me, anyways. So that's my pick for that one. But for tonight's runner-up, the pick was the New York Comic Con 2025 Artist Alley Zine #1. Ryan Otley, that was limited to 500, had a top sale for a raw near mint at $100 and a 7-day growth trend of 100%. It's time to kick off the actual top 10. What do we got at number 10?
Let's start it off with someone nobody's ever heard of before. How about Mark Spears, Monsters #1? We got a 6 printing action figure variant. This is a 1 in 25 variant from Keenspot. We tracked 7 total copies sold at a $100 high raw sale. This is pretty wild to see a 6 print get a 1 in 25 ratio. I mean, that's pretty uncommon. So it's pretty wild. I think that's one of the driving factors, other than the fact that this is a really cool kind of different Mark Spears cover than what we're normally seeing. For me, it looks a little different. You can see the Mark Spears kind of flavor here, but it's a little different from what we've seen in the last several months, I feel like, or the last year or so. But yeah, the big thing here is you're getting a 1 in 25 on a 6 printing. That's crazy. So yeah, really, really, really cool book.
Yeah, the one book that's not part of New York Comic Con, but that doesn't mean Mark Spears wasn't hot in New York Comic Con.
That's true.
We'll talk about him a little later when we get to another book. But I like the crease. I like the poster crease. That to me says it all. It's a poster. It's not a comic book cover. It's a poster, and I love the meta-ness of behind it because, again, like I said, we're going to talk about Mark Spears a little later with another book that's also an action figure related property. We'll talk more about, which I think it's crazy meta. But yeah, Mark Spears is gold right now. So pretty much anything that's hot anything that says Mark Spears eventually will be hot. So that's how I feel towards this one. 6 printing at 1 in 25, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think I might actually, not unfortunately, because how is it unfortunate to have a great comic book? All I'm gonna say is, I feel like I might end up being on the hook for this because this kid is like the twin of my child.
Dude, I honestly, I'm so happy you say this out loud publicly because I was thinking it, and holy
this
cow,
looks like my child 100%. So I might be on the hook for this one just for the actual it's just the fact that this looks like my kid on a comic book. This is crazy.
It's so funny, dude. Yes, he's not lying, guys. But look, I'm not surprised to be seeing this hitting the top 10 this week. Kind of like you guys were saying, just to echo it. Yes, it's gone to a 6th printing for issue #1 of Monsters, and we have a 1 in 25 ratio that is tied to that 6th printing. And Raw Near Mints going for $100 is very impressive. You, Izzy, were just saying how Mark Spears will be talked about again later tonight, but I also want to remind everybody that Mark Spears will be talked about a lot this week because, yes, the blind bags, we are just 2 days away, guys. 2 days away. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see what everybody's going to pull out of those blind bags. But that being said, guys, at number 10, we have Mark Spears Monsters. Number 1, the Mark Spears 6th printing action figure variant, which is a 1 in 25 and features the son of Travis. It had a top sale for a Raw Near Mint at $100 and a 7-day growth trend of 100%. So now it is time to swing it back to New York Comic Con with number 9.
Another New York Comic Con exclusive, Marvel DC Deadpool Batman number 1, the Peach Momoko Virgin variant. This is from Trinity Comics. It was limited to 888 copies. You have there a really cool Harley Quinn, which had a top sale of $160 Raw Near Mint. Of course, Harley Quinn is hot. Of course, Peach Momoko's hot. I'm going to save this one for you guys because I think this is not the first time we see this. This is not going to be the last time we see this image.
Nope.
Yeah, this one, okay. So everybody's got their thing, right? Like everybody's got their thing, and like Momoko is one of those for me that I have several of them that kind of like jump out at me. But Peach is not an artist that I actively collect because there are so many amazing artists out there that if you actively collect all of them, you will be very, very, very financially unstable. So. Yeah, right. So like you have to pick your spots, right? And so with Peach, I only really grab the ones that really, they all do it for me, but the ones that really make that statement. And I don't love Harley Quinn covers typically. I just kind of me. It's not my thing. It's like, it's not something I collect actively. I love Harley Quinn. I don't actively collect Harley Quinn covers. All that aside, this is bitchin'. I love this. This is a fantastic cover, and Peach absolutely crushed this. If the top sale wasn't a $160 near mint raw sale, I'd be all over this. But that is an issue for me.
I can tell you right now, this one slipped me because when this one was released, because they didn't release it immediately. It wasn't like it was out to buy. So Trinity Comics, I think, did a drop that like they did a couple of retailers did secret drops throughout the week. This one came out when Peach Momoko was there, and there was like a crowd, not like last year, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But there was a crowd, and you saw the huddle around it. And I feel for Peach, man. Every time something's involved with her, it's like she gets that crowd. Mark Spears, you've been forewarned. His time will come, I bet. Because he didn't go to the con this year, so I'm like, he's one of those guys that when he shows up, forget it, it's over. But going back to this piece, I am super stoked to see a Harley Quinn in a onesie. I love the original onesie. That's my Harley, if anything. I like the blonde, don't get me wrong, but I'm a Batman the animated series, and that's my Harley. That's the one I love the most. I'm trying to remember who's the other character. Why is this escaping me? And you guys in the chat could let me know who it is because I completely forgot.
On this cover?
Yeah, who was that other character? I can't remember her name.
I feel like it looks like Luna Snow.
It does look like Luna Snow, but I didn't want to say that. So there you have it. Peach Momoko, Luna Snow, Harley Quinn. And by the way, Igo, it was good seeing you, man. There was a couple of people from the chat that I did get a chance to see during the show, so I want to give him a shout out.
Yeah, dude, look, Momoko is on a whole other level, man. It's funny you bring that up because yes, everybody remembers what happened at New York Comic Con. Although there was a fight, there wasn't a fight, is what I recall. So there was all of that nonsense.
I was there.
Yeah, there was all of that nonsense.
I'll tell you what happened.
But the love for Momoko continues to pour out, and rightfully so. I think Momoko's work, Momoko fans absolutely absorb such books, especially when it's exclusives as such, limited, etc. And for myself, Momoko's hit or miss. That's just my taste, guys. And don't take my opinion and come at me with pitchforks. But I think this is a very neat cover. I like the way this one is, portrayed here. You've got Luna Snow busting out of the head. It looks like obviously of Harley Quinn, but it kind of feels like there's a party going on in her head. You got all the balloons coming out, etc. It's very neat. I really think this is cool. And yeah, man. Travis, I'm with you, man. The price tag right now on the aftermarket is what's hurting because this would be a very, very neat pickup. But yeah, guys.
Sure.
Yep. Number 9, we've got Marvel DC Deadpool Batman. Number 1, the Peach Momoko Virgin variant, which was a New York Comic Con exclusive this year by Trinity Comics, limited to 888 copies. And this right here had a top sale for a raw near mint at $160, 7-day growth trend of 100%. But guys, have no fear. There's more Momoko. Here you go. Take it away.
Oh.
You the even guy, man.
I know. I got thrown off by the Momoko. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, so yeah, up next we've got. Wait a minute. Marvel and DC Deadpool Batman number 1. Peach Momoko sketch virgin variant. All right, cool. 2025 New York Comic Con. This one, however, limited to 700 as opposed to 888. We tracked 10 copies sold on the aftermarket with a $175 top raw sale. This was one of the Saturday secret drops. This is a really, really, really cool crossover. We kind of covered the art on the last slide, but obviously this one a little bit more scarce. Got the secret drop. We always know that these kind of pop a little more. Collectors love these. So we're tracking a current fair market value of about $98 on this. But yeah, that high 175. That's a big number. But before I throw it over there, that high of 175 versus the high of 160 for the previous one, that if you're in the ballpark and you dig the sketch variant, that doesn't seem like that big of a jump to me. Like, I feel like I could, if I'm a sketch variant guy,
yeah,
that $15 is probably not going to kill me if I'm already in the $160 range for the book.
Yeah, and the limited quantity is not that much different, right?
Right.
So we got 888 versus 700.
Right.
I like this one more because I get to see the pencil work that she uses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because that would have to mean that she scanned it and then went back to it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because she uses watercolors. We're not talking about digital coloring here. So she goes in it, and I like the way this one's more simplified because it doesn't have the extra balloons or anything like that. So I dig this one a little bit more. Last year I picked up an Ahsoka she did, and I got the pencil sketch for it. It's a gorgeous piece. So
I saw that.
I think the Peach Momoko pencils are. I want to see more of those because I like the watercolors, but I there's something about the pencil ones that I absolutely love, the sketch variants.
Yeah, I'm a big sketch variant guy. I like them a lot. I know that some folks just some folks don't love them. I don't know. Like I've heard differing opinions on sketch variants. I personally love them. I think you see, like you said, I think you get to see that pencil work way more than the finished product. So I kind of agree with that. Lando, what do you think on this?
I like the color better. I like the, that's just me. But again, see, this is what's awesome. I like hearing different perspectives when it comes to such things. But again, I'm reading within the chat because I wasn't at New York Comic Con, so I'm not too familiar. But apparently, this was a Saturday drop. Is that what it is? Was this like a more secret variant that came out on the Saturday? And here, as you can see, it's going for a little more of a premium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. There was a couple of secret drops that came out throughout the week. This was the Saturday one from Trinity Comics, and Trinity Comics. So a lot of the retailers had like longer booths. Like I know Nomads had a bigger booth. The Comet Mint usually has like the corner booth, where Trinity Comics actually had like a smaller corner piece. So it was hard to actually know these things. And again, as a secret drop, so what ends up happening with secret drops, when people find out about the secret drops, they're there at the very beginning of the day. I did take a video of the con opening. So I'm inside the con, and you just see the swarm. It's a swarm. It's like just a swarm of people just running to wherever they have to go to, because these things, they sell out within that hour. So whenever you go to a con of this magnitude, whether it's New York, whether it's San Diego, if you want something badly, you have to get there before you do anything else. And that was the case with this one. This is one of those books that just went out. That's why you see these high price tags. A lot of these books, you're seeing high price tags. And the reason why you're seeing it is because they were sold out pretty quickly. And for a lot of them, they were sold out just to be sold in eBay. And it makes sense if you really think about it, because they're great covers, they're good covers. Some people want to be able to take advantage of that opportunity so they could take advantage of books that they might really want to pick up. But this is one it's beautiful, man. I like the pencils because I like to see like the shadings and things like that. That's why, being an artist myself, I actually like to keep my pencils on top. I don't usually erase over it. So that's why I'm a sketch guy.
Yeah. Hey, man, I don't blame you. Again, like I said, for me, it's the color one. But for many others, this actually came in a little higher. Given the story behind this secret drop, we get it as a 700 limited rather than 888. Speaking 8, at number 8, we have Marvel DC Deadpool Batman number 1, the Peach Momoko sketch virgin variant from New York Comic Con just this weekend. Trinity Comics limited to 700 with a top sale for a run near mint at $175 and a 7-day growth trend of 100%. It's starting to get nippy outside, guys. Izzy, tell us what's happening at number 7.
I didn't realize it when I saw it afterwards, but at number 7, it's Pop Kill number 2, the Will Jack. This is the Virgin Metal variant. So this was limited to 150. This was the KRS Comic Mint exclusive. This has a top raw sale of $215. It is a metal. It is a virgin, even though that picture makes me think differently. But it is the sequel to the popular Will Jack series of I Love New York, among other things. That there's no pumpkin spicy this week, but there's definitely love for New York.
Absolutely, man. Lots of love, extra love coming out of New York here, man. You can hang your keys on there. But yes. Keep it going, Travis. What do you think?
There's always love for New York, right? There's always love for New York. No, this is here. That's right. This one is quite a voluptuous cover. We got some nice little fireflies in the background there, and I'm just gonna keep talking about other things like the ears. Those are cool. The cat ears, the cat ears are cool. She got some bracelets on, so that's nice. That's pretty cool. Great cover. Now, this is cool. I mean, not all that shocking to see a pop kill pop up on this list here. I know that there was an additional Pop Kill book that was quite popular this weekend or this past week. So Pop Kill has definitely got it's definitely got that kind of vibe to it, right? Like it's got some serious push on the aftermarket, it seems. And so this is a cool one. I like Will Jack. I've always enjoyed Will Jack stuff, and this is a neat one. It's not one that Am I going to 215 on it? Nope, probably not. But I know plenty of people who will, right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Keep in mind it's a metal, so
exactly.
15 is justifiable. So that's usually the price for these books. There is one that's just a virgin variant that goes for about 75. So if you actually like this image, you could get that one. If you can't, you can't cough up the 215, you could actually get the other one.
I love the image. There's only one problem with this one for me, and
you can hardly see them nipples.
That's the problem every time. But you see just enough to make it so perfect. And honestly, I agree with everything you guys were saying. Will Jack, man, has been dropping fire. And as you were just mentioning, Izzy, you go back to the Vampirella one, right? And that was, that's still holding very well on the aftermarket. Oh, that thing broke the internet. Like people were going mad for that one when it dropped. And here we go again for New York Comic Con 2025 with this amazing cover. Pop Kill, guys. was an amazing read. I actually really enjoyed Pop Kill, so I hope you guys had the opportunity to give it a read. I know we have a lot of nice covers when it comes to Pop Kill, but give the book a read because it is really good. And speaking really good, well, at number 7, we have Pop Kill number 2, the Wheeljack Virgin Metal variant from New York Comic Con just this weekend. It is the KRS/Comic Mint that is limited to 150 copies. Top sale for this bad girl right here is in a raw near mint is $215 and a 7-day growth trend of 100%. Travis, you good to go?
Let's rock and roll.
Let's go, baby. What do we got at number 6?
Number 6, we have the Marvel the Marvel and Mass Appeal Legend has at number 1, the Sanford Green. Oh, love Sanford Green. The Sanford Green 2025 New York Comic Con exclusive. This is a Whatnot exclusive. We have this nice, cool blend of Mass Appeal and Marvel, and it does actually. This is a cool one if you're kind of a hip hop person, right? Like I love rap music, and this one is a kind of a cool one that does kind of pay homage to some of the most influential rap artists from New York. So it's very, very, very neat. So this being kind of a crossover between Mass Appeal and Marvel, and kind of a Whatnot exclusive. Apparently there are still copies of this available at the time of this release. But we did track 24 sales. And we had a top raw sale of $100 for a near mint copy. I'm looking at a fair market value of around $76 right now. But the fact that there's more of these available, if you're into hip hop covers, and I know that a lot of people are,
Yep.
and I'm one of them. If I can get my hands on any music cover, Lando, I know you have several music covers as well.
Yeah, dude. But there was the Amazing Spider-Man that had Nas on it, and I forget what kind of a exclusive that was. But one thing I want to put out there before you even continue, because I like, there's, like you were saying, there's people who collect these. Raw near mints are going for $100. I'm literally checking the Mass Appeal the Mass Appeal website right now. You could add these to your cart, so they're still available for $30 if anybody wants to pick this up. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. So
don't order live on the show, but maybe do order live on the show.
So this was one of those books that was given out during the panels. So throughout the convention, there was a lot. Marvel did it practically in every panel that they had, where they would do, at the end of the panel, you will get an exclusive. This was one of the Marvel ones. The interesting one about this panel is that it was later in the evening. So a lot of people didn't get a chance to go. I know one of my close friends, DJ Lynx, he went to the panel. He loved it. Nas was present at the panel. Yeah. And what they do is, at the end of the panel, when you leave the door, you could they'll hand you one. And some people, they get slick and they try to get a second one and things like that. But whatever's left over, they give it back to whoever the publisher is, because they end up selling like on the website and things like that. And this just happens to be one because it was later in the evening that this came out. So we're talking about 7-8 o'clock during the panel, something like that was the panel. So by that time, people were leaving the con. I wasn't even in the building. I was still doing con stuff. I wasn't in the building. I had to go do one of the events that I had to go to that had an interesting experience. And I'll tell you guys offline what that was like. It was interesting. But I think that's why there's still some out there that are available. And of course, Whatnot had a fantastic booth. They had a great booth. It was at the end of the con, and it was just such a cool booth. So I could understand why there's still some out there.
I was gonna ask, did you go? You didn't go to the panel. You said DJ Lynx went, but yeah. I would love to know if at the panel he came out to New York State of Mind. I
wouldn't be able to answer that question because I didn't ask that question. But I could find out.
Yeah, I would love to know that. It's the perfect place. Come on, you got to do that. But yeah, I really like this one. Like I said, they're still available on the Mass Appeal website. So hey, I might have to hit up some American friends that I've got here on the.
One less.
Exactly, one less. But yes, at number 6, guys, we have Marvel Mass Appeal Legend has it. Number 1. Sanford Green 2025 New York Comic Con exclusive, Whatnot as well. Top sale for this one, raw near mint, $100 and a 7-day growth trend of 100%. 100%. Guys, we're about to hit the halfway mark, so please, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, comment below if you're catching the replay, and hey, man, subscribe, hit that bell. We will catch you again live tomorrow for the new Comic Book Day show, which we will go through all the books dropping this week. So, number 5, guys, what do we got?
Number 5 is Something is Killing the Children. A monster hunter walks into a bar. Number 1, Flop Spot UV variant. 2025 New York Comic Con SIKTC pack limited to 400. Top sale raw near mint at $125. I have to say this con was the con of the crossovers. We just saw one that just happened with the Marvel mask, but there was a huge, and dare I say huge, crossover event that's coming by the way of Boom Studios in collaboration with Marvel Comics. And if you didn't hear it, now's your chance to hear it. We're getting rid of the something, and we're calling it Swamp Thing is Killing the Children. I had to throw it out at this moment. So, but this cover itself, it is a beautiful Flops. Now, Flops is one of those artists that he shows up, leaves, then shows up again. And there was actually multiple copies of books that Flops did. I know we just had the interview with Flops just recently with Matt and John, so go check that out.
Yep.
I just love this cover. And of course, speaking of crossovers, in the Marvel look and feel.
Yeah, it does definitely has that vibe to it. This was my personal favorite cover of the exclusives that I saw prior or as they were coming out. I love this series. This is a series that I consistently read. This is one that I collect. My wife collects it. This series is big for us in this house. We love this work. So seeing this book pop off, not surprising. Just an absolutely killer cover from Flops. And every time I look at this, I find something new I love about it. Like there's just always some little nuance to this cover that I can't get enough of. So yeah, this is a great book, and I wish I had one. I wish there was one chilling for $30 on the website right now, guys. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, dude, totally. I'd pick this up in a heartbeat, man. I love it. Like you said, the more you look at this cover, I mean, look, let's backtrack just a bit because Izzy said that there was the interview with Matt and John with Flops as well, which was absolutely wonderful. It was great to learn a lot about Flops when it comes to, the stuff that he does. But now looking at this, okay, the cover itself, I love the color selection behind this cover, the neonness, right? It just pops, dude. It feels like I'm walking into a mini putt place. You know what I mean? But I'm sure my dad still got a pair of pants from the 90s in these colors.
Get the black light, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I love this cover. It is absolutely amazing. Now, speaking the crossovers, you guys touched on it just a little bit. Yes, we got Swamp Thing is Killing the Children, which is going to be absolutely wild to see them crossing over. But we even learned about DCKO over the weekend, man, and how there's going to be crossovers there. We're going to have Homelander. We're going to have Annabelle the doll. We're going to have Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. We're going to have, dude, Beneath the Tree. There's so much happening.
So let me tell you about that panel when that announcement was dropped. Jim Lee dropped that announcement. And we're there, and he's talking to Scott Snyder. So that was Jim Lee and Friends panel. He's talking to Scott Snyder about the story, and they're doing this. They're gonna do a tournament event. So if anybody read the last issue of DCKO, then you know what happens, right? So I'm not revealing that if you didn't get a chance to read it. So go ahead and read it. They're doing this thing where they're not gonna have enough people to overtake Darkseid, so they need to go to other universes. That's how they put it. So they're doing what they call bonus rounds.
Yes,
and it started with Sub-Zero.
Can't wait.
So what Jim Lee did, he put the poster up, and you see Sub-Zero, and everybody like, yeah, Sub-Zero, and that's all you thought. And then he said Annabelle, and then the image of Annabelle showed up. So you had Sub-Zero and Annabelle. And then when you looked at the Annabelle, it kind of looked like it was just like a joke at this point.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. So then he gets Homelander. Then he puts Vampirella, and then since Vampirella is from Dynamite, I said, why not just get Red Sonja? And they just kept on adding to it. And then to top it all off, you get the bear from beneath the trees where no one's. I'm like, and we all went like this. Like, this can't be real.
It's real, dude. It's real. But guys, for me, it makes perfect sense because look, Annabelle. There was an actual Annabelle comic that was published by DC back in the day, and then we go even further. You have Sub-Zero. Now we all recall, especially in the video games, there was a crossover, guys. There was Mortal Kombat with the DC universe. So I like that they're bringing this, but to see the most random, like, dude, Homelander, this is huge. This is huge. That's going to be amazing. We beneath the trees, like, yes, who would have thought of that? And we're getting that. So I'm super pumped to read this. I know, like you said, these are going to be like little pocket universes that they're going to be popping into. We're going to call this bonus rounds, etc. But man, to me, that is going to be a hell of a ride, and I cannot wait.
So it got me thinking because they didn't make an announcement, but it has me thinking. Will they get any Marvel characters involved? Because they're doing the crossover events now. So it has me thinking we're gonna hold on to that thought, maybe. But I'm just saying they blew our minds.
I would love that.
They've taken a hilarious concept and not a hilarious concept, but kind of a wild concept, and they have the potential to turn it into one of the more fun things we've done in comics in a while, I think, and that's what I think has me so excited. It's a book that I'm like, I'm going to go pick my books up, and when there's a new one sitting there, I'm going to grab it and read it first because it's such a fun ride. So that's it. But aside from all that, this book, this one is an absolute banger, well deserving of the top sell that it has, and Flops absolutely crushed this. Like, this is unbelievable.
The last thing I mentioned about this one, it was part of the comic pack. So this was actually part of the blind bag. So blind bags were big in Comic-Con this week. Yeah, there was a lot of blind bags, guys. This was one of those blind bags. So not everybody was able to get this book, and that's why the price is demanding what it is. It was just one of those books that if you got it because you opened the pack and it showed up.
Yeah, you got a hit, and that's just how it plays out. Like you said, there were so many blind bags throughout the weekend, but I'm really happy to see this one getting the love it did because I think the cover is stunning. Guys, at number 5, Something is Killing the Children. A monster hunter walks into a bar. Number 1 by Flops. It's a Spot UV variant that dropped in New York Comic-Con just this weekend in the Something is Killing the Children comic pack, and this one right here was limited to 400 copies. It had a top sale for raw near mint at $125 and a 7-day growth trend of 100%. Oh boy, Izzy is going to blow one right now when it comes to number 4. And I won't say what that one is, but anyways.
Before we get to that one, right? Since I'm even, I'm odds.
Yep. I got this one. I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad for having this one because this one is I'm gonna introduce this, and then I'm gonna hand it over to the man who has way more to say about it than I think either me or Lando here. So at number 4, we have Spawn number 1, the one book probably most everybody has a copy of. But this is the McFarlane Toys action figure variant for this year. This is the Walmart variant. This is a hot book, guys. This is a big time book. This was all over social media everywhere. It is it reprints Spawn number 1, and it is the 77 variant cover, and it comes bundled with an action figure. And this is actually released at New York Comic Con before it hits the online Walmart marketplace. This is the first created version of Todd McFarlane's Spawn, back in 1977. That's what he originally looked like. So we tracked 10 copies sold at a high raw sub of $150. And we're looking at a near mint fair market value of $141. So not too far off from fair market value. So really, really, really cool book. Action figure variants. We've seen plenty of them. This one for me is a whole nother animal.
Yep.
Izzy.
Take it away, buddy.
So guys, Lando, if you get a chance to put me big, I would like to show it.
In a heartbeat.
Just want to share anything. I don't have the comic book with me right now to show it to you because I set it off. I send it off for grading. I was like, I ain't gonna hold on to it. But I do want to share something with you because they also gave
That's
this
so cool. That
with
is
the
so cool.
comic. And I'm not an action figure buyer like that, so I don't really buy action figures. It's just I don't got that kind of space. I got some nice figures here, but you see, it's not so much this as much as it is this.
Yes. Love that.
So we have here what I would like to call the very first cover appearance of Spawn 77 in a comic book done, and I said I was going to mention his name again, Mark Spears.
Yes, sir.
So if you went to the Walmart booth, you could have bought this for $50, the whole set. It came with the comic book, came with the toy. And like I said, I send mine off to CGC. I was like, you know what? I might as well not wait. Send that comic book out immediately. It was one of the drops that came on the week. Yeah, claim. I do have some plans
That's
with
it.
that. I
That's,
think
that's
that
how
is
it goes,
important.
buddy. It's gone. It's Baker's now, bro. Sorry.
Well, Izzy lost it. so the thing is with this particular book, we did know about it. I had, someone did mention it to me a little bit and I got a chance to see the book beforehand, and it was so crazy because it was on Wednesday. I'm actually doing another live stream from the con. I'm doing a live stream, and across from me is just like a couple of people working.
Mhm.
They're working on their table, and then they had piles of comic books. Now this is literally outside of the show, just chilling outside where the Starbucks is, inside the Javits Center. And then
Wow.
I see my phone, and I get a message, and it says, check your, the guy walks, he's about to go to the restroom. He looks at me, he's like, check your IG. And I don't know who this guy was, but he told me to check my IG. So he comes up and he says, yo, man, when you finish, come to my table. I want to show you something. And he showed me that. And I just went like this.
You didn't know
went,
the guy. You didn't know the guy.
I knew the guy, but I didn't know the guy. You know what I'm talking about? He was like one of my he's in some of my chat groups. So
Okay.
at that moment, I never met him, face to face. So I go and he says, oh, look what we're going to get. We're in the Walmart, but look what we have. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, and the toys with it. And I went,
It's crazy.
that was my Wednesday night, guys.
That's wild, dude.
That's a win of a Wednesday, man.
Dude. You got to know before everybody.
I got to see the comic book up front, and it's unfortunately the comic book's not with me, but the toy is.
Yeah, I do want to believe that the Mark Spears book there that is included with the toy just very well might be what would be considered, I guess, a first of that cover, because it's come out way before.
But you know what? I don't think people realize it's Mark Spears. Like,
oh no, dude!
A year ago.
When they announced Spawn 77, that was the talk. It was, hey,
a year ago, literally a year ago.
Yeah, exactly, man. That was the talk. Mark Spears is going to be on this, and I can't wait, man. I've been campaigning this for quite some time. How when Mark, we're seeing Mark Spears doing all of his stuff right now, and all, don't get me wrong, I love the monster stuff, and of course now we have this week with the blind bags. But I've been waiting very impatiently now for the Spawn 77, which I think is going to be awesome. I love the story behind this. I love that Todd McFarlane is doing this, and he's getting somebody like Mark Spears on there as well. Can't wait to see all the other covers that are going to be coming out once Spawn 77 comes out. But this was a big one over the weekend, and congratulations to you, of course, for picking one up. Anybody who had the opportunity to pick it up, man, that's a huge score. An absolutely huge score. And people like myself and Travis can only hope on the aftermarket to get one.
When the slab comes, I'll let you know.
Let us know. It's going to be a 9-9. Let's call it 9-9. We're giving you those types of wishes. Those type of wishes. But guys, at number 4, we had Spawn number 1, McFarlane Toys action figure variant from New York Comic Con this weekend. It is from obviously a Walmart convention. That's what it was.
Yeah,
right?
it's a Walmart marketplace. So Walmart is now doing a marketplace similar to eBay marketplace, and they had a lot of cool things in that booth. So, but this one's the highlight of their show.
Crazy. Absolutely wild. Top sale for this bad boy. Naranya Mint was $150. 7-day growth trend of 100%. Let's take it to number 3 on this list.
And that is what I'm going to call the Book of the Con. Now, it's on number 3 because we'll talk about number 1 and 2 in a minute. But Amazing Spider-Man 13, the J. Scott Campbell black and white Virgin panel exclusive from New York Comic Con. The only way you were able to get this comic is if you went to the J. Scott Campbell this J. Scott Campbell panel. CB Cebulski did that. They went through his life and comics. It was kind of a retrospect. This had a top sale of $195 near mint. I too did obtain a copy.
No kidding.
I don't have, and also don't have it with me because it's out for grading because because you gotta. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta.
CPC was present, right? Everybody was present. PSA was present. You could have sent this off anywhere. So
I
that's
could have
amazing.
sent it off to anybody, man. I made my decision, and that's why I'm not saying who I send it off to.
Yeah, you know what though? One thing I want to say is yes, we got this cover on Amazing Spider-Man, and when this came out, we had the trade, we had the Virgin with the orange background, and the Virgin did very well. The ratio did very well on the aftermarket. In fact, it even hit our top 10 from what I recall. But now here we are with the New York Comic Con panel, as you were saying, and now this one doing some numbers on the aftermarket. What a stunning cover.
This is really, really, really good. You know, I feel like I talk about JSC every week. But how can you not? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. But this is one of my favorites that I've seen from the con. It's so good. Not surprised to see this book kind of blow up. So yeah, just iconic, really. I mean, just seems like the perfect book if you're doing a retrospect for a panel. For an artist like J. Scott Campbell, it feels like the book to put up there. Like this feels like a variant that is worthy of that kind of panel exclusive kind of thing. So shout out to J. Scott Campbell.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, I really like this one. Like I said, man, even when it came out as a trade, I picked it up. I unfortunately could not afford that ratio Virgin cover as well, but if you guys had a chance to pick this up, like Izzy did, this is really awesome to see.
Should rename this to Izzy's top 10.
Apparently, this is Izzy's top 10.
I'll be honest with you. I think Campbell was the king of the con. My personal opinion.
Wow.
There was more panels with him, about him, talking to him. Like I did also attend the McFarlane Campbell panel, and that was a fun panel. I'm going to drop that video out. So you guys want to see that panel, I'll drop it out sometime this week. It was a fun show, man. And you could tell Campbell is a very humble guy. It was to the point that when I was at that panel, I made the decision of purchasing a signature just to get his signature. I didn't do this book. I decided to do the other Mary Jane book, which I had.
I think that's fair.
I had it crack open. It was a 9.8, and I had it crack open so I could get his signature on it. So I was debating to do the second one. I was like, nah, we'll just send this one out. I think this one will be fine as is. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's definitely, and Marvel take care of the books, man. The way they hand out the books, they did the best job. They give you the book, it's already bagged and board and all that stuff for you. This was just, everybody went to that panel. That was the panel to go to.
It just hit me like we could like if you're doing exclusives at a con, you could manufacture scarcity by just giving out your variants by throwing them like frisbees. Just have everybody stand back there and just yeet those things into a crowd. So like somebody's getting a 9.2, but if you're really good at catching, you're gonna get a 9.8. Like you know what I mean?
Well, that was but here's
you got to earn that 9.8, dog.
But here's the crazy thing about the panels. So when people come out of the panels, there are other people that are ready to give you top dollar for the book. So when this panel was over and you got the book, there was literally people saying how much would you like for it, and they were selling it while they were giving it away.
Wild, crazy.
That's absolutely wild. It's so funny that you, not Izzy, sorry, Travis. It's funny you said that, having to catch that in the crowd and doing that because, yeah, that would be funny. Let's just hope that somebody like Jerry Judy's not in the crowd because it's going to come back in 8.0. But, anyways, we're looking at number 3, guys. The Amazing Spider Man issue 13, the J. Scott Campbell Black and White Virgin panel exclusive that was available at New York Comic Con this weekend. And it had a top sale for around near mint at $195, 7-day trend of 100%. Now we get to shy away from New York Comic Con. What do we got next?
Oh, Lord, a Neil Adams Joker cover. We have at number 2, Salvation Run number 7. This is the Neil Adams Bloody Joker variant. This is a 1 in 10 from 2008. Now, why? So we did have, pardon some spoilers here, we did have a little bit of a big reveal at the end of Peacemaker Season 2, talking about Salvation. So, I'm not going to go into too much details there, but, try to keep it for anybody who's not totally caught up yet. But they did go all out back in 2008 to kind of celebrate the end of this limited run and Salvation Run in 2008. And so it was a short miniseries. They're celebrating the end of the run, and we got a 1 in 10 killer Neil Adams variant. And it does kind of call back to some of his more famous work, like especially some of his Joker work, but it just kind of seems like a little bit of a more modern take. We did track 8 copies sold. I was reading the number. 8 copies sold with a high raw sale of $150 and a graded CBCS 9.6 for $200. So you get a raw near mint for $150, or you can get a graded 9.6 for $200. So interesting. Not surprising to see Neil Adams pop up ever for any reason whatsoever. I do think, for me personally, this is a little different Neil Adams. I mean, it is definitely him, but it's definitely different too. This is a kind of, you can definitely tell the difference in style here from what we were used to seeing with Neil up until this point.
Salvation, salvation, salvation is here. Shout out to the Cranberries, man. Okay, let's talk about the cover. That way I won't have to get into spoiler talk here, because I'll get into spoiler talk later. This is a crazy sick cover, though.
Yeah.
Like the cover by itself. Like, again, when you think about Neil Adams, the Joker does come to mind because he reinvented the Joker. And the Joker we know and love is Neil Adams' Joker.
Yes, sir.
And this comes full circle, right? This is one of his later works before he passed away. And Joker with bloody hands, man. This is a cover buy for me. I wouldn't even, not even because of the spoiler talk about it, but Salvation Run is one of those stories that, you can find them in dollar bins. Yeah.
And you still will be able to for a while, I think. I mean, maybe not for long, but I think for a while. I mean, I think
how's this? I did not bother to look for this book at the con. If I would have realized it, I would have gone. Yeah. On Friday, I would have been at those, just pulling them all out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just going through someone's back stock and just being like, I know you missed one, dog. Like, I know you missed one. Why are you
buying 20? It's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Here's your $20.
Look,
because nobody's having time to watch that while they're trying to
well, that's the thing. So when I got out of the con on Thursday, the con goes to it closes at 7, but retailers don't leave till like 9:30 or even 10 o'clock, and there's usually some after parties as well. And on Thursday specifically, there was an event by Lunar. So retailers were at the Lunar event. So nobody was watching the season premiere. I saw the season premiere while I was on the train.
You mean the finale?
Premiere. Well, it felt like a premiere, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you that. I was watching it on the train at 12 o'clock at night, half asleep like this, watching it. Just because I wanted to, I didn't want any spoilers. I didn't want to come in the next day with spoilers. And granted, I go on Friday to the con, and I'm not even thinking about this.
Yeah, no, dude, for sure. Especially with all the action that's happening at the convention, with all the exclusives, the panels, etc. But first thing I gotta point out here is I really think on the top 10, this is a first appearance of a CBCS sale in 2025.
Yeah, it definitely
Shout out
is.
to that.
No
But
question.
great point, Todd. You actually beat me to it. But yeah, I don't think shops were really going for more than 10 copies when it came to Salvation Run back when this was dropping. And kind of what Izzy was saying, most of this run can be found in dollar bins all across. Now, when it gets to the 1 in 10, dude, this Neil Adams cover is just so good. I love this. And you kind of nailed it on the head, Travis, how this right here, it screams Neil Adams, but it's a modern twist Neil Adams on this. I love Neil Adams, man. And Izzy, again, bringing up great points when it comes to Joker, Neil Adams, man, how he really brought forth the character in a design that we all came to love and grow up with, etc. And I love this. I love this cover. I know somebody who owns this, and I swear to God, I would haggle him as much as I can to get it off of his hands because I just love this cover. That being said, I won't get into any spoilers because guess what? I didn't watch the finale either. So I gotta watch that immediately after this show. So let's not go into the spoilers. Let's just move along because Salvation Run issue number 7 comes in at number 2 this week. It's the Neil Adams Bloody Joker variant, which was a 1 in 10, and it had a top sale for a CBCS 9.6 at $200 and 7-day growth trend of 168%. I hope you guys don't miss Salvation Run too much, but hang tight because immediately after we go through number 1, I want to tell you guys a little something regarding Cover Price as a whole. So that being said, what do we got at number 1?
At number 1, it's Salvation number 1. Yes, it was not a New York Comic Con book because Peacemaker changed that. With Salvation Run number 1, this is the Cover A Sean Chen cover, who was at the con, and I could have gotten the book signed by him if I had it. It was the top sale of this book is raw, $30 near mint. However, sales are going for about $20. So if you go do that, look at this 7-day trend, 1,424%. That's right. No one saw this coming. Nope. Nobody saw this coming. So I'm speechless. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? It would have been the J. Scott Campbell if it wasn't for that Peacemaker season finale, which was more like an epilogue than a season finale, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is cool. I like when things like this happen. Like, you know, like I love it when you get the random dollar bin book like this that really just hits. Like it's like you said, it's all hilarious and fun and awesome, and then you see the 7-day trend, and then it just gets to another level of just like you see that number like that, and you're like, that's so good, that's so great. I love seeing dollar bin books pop. It's like my favorite thing in comics. It's one of them. And not for nothing, I love this cover personally. Like I think it's a really neat, cool cover. Personally, I haven't read Salvation Run, and
I don't think anybody really read it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
It's one of those runs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely one of those kind of odd things there. But it's such a cool book. It's cool for the reason that it's cool, right? And we know that we're not trying to spoil anything major, but we know there are some implications with Peacemaker and this series, and that's what we're getting here. And we're getting that big push because of Peacemaker. I love stuff like this happening. It's so neat. And for a series from 2007 just to randomly show up, this has kind of been the gun formula, hasn't it? I mean, you look back, obviously with Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm just talking about his DC run here. You look back, Creature Commandos. We saw a lot of obscure books pop after Creature Commandos, and now we're seeing other books pop because of Peacemaker. And this is not the first time we've seen books pop specifically because of Peacemaker. This is season 2. We've seen multiple books pop because of it. So this is the gun formula. Like we're seeing this. He's going obscure. He's going for these kind of forgotten things, or maybe these things that were maybe overlooked in DC's past, and either giving them kind of a fresh take or just, incorporating them in unique ways. And I think that is kind of, I think that's the way to go about it. I don't know if it'll work, but like I think that's the way you approach it, and I think it's really cool.
I agree with you on that because yes, man, he's like you said, either you want to say it's a different, like a new take, you're giving it a fresh take, whatever, but it's bringing interest into such characters that you, as you said, were overlooked. And look, it's not something James Gunn has not done in the past, right? Let's take Guardians of the Galaxy as a whole. Nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy, and he made them a household name.
This guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. But just to give you an idea. But again, I don't want to talk too much about it. Now I have an idea of what's going to happen exactly when it comes to watching the season finale of Peacemaker season 2. But at number 1, guys, we had Salvation Run number 1 with a top sale for Run Your Mint at $30 and a 7-day trend of 1,424%. Now, Rook brought up something here saying there's a lot of Something is Killing the Children pack books that should be here tonight on the top 10 list. And this is what I wanted to tell you guys. Clearly, the Peacemaker season finale spoilers top this week's list, right? While Action Comics 598 just missed out due to smaller overall trends compared to the red hot Salvation Run books and the onslaught of New York Comic Con aftermath. Didn't see your favorite cover make the cut, guys, this week? Well, or you may have not noticed. Some books selling for sky-high prices that didn't crack the top 10, right? That's because the automated system requires multiple confirmed sales to establish a trend. Many of the pricier exclusives, like the KRS Comic Mint Batman #1 Philip Tan sketch, There's Something is Killing the Children, a monster Hunter walks into a bar, Momoko sketch, and Flop's Corner box. Those are all north of $200, but have too few individual sales to chart, and that's only for now, guys. And let's not forget that stunning Frizen Pop Kill cover.
Can you like show me? Can you like show just put the camera on me for a second?
Absolutely. Give me one quick second. There you go, sir.
Because are you referring to this book?
That's the one.
Yes, that's the one. That is the one.
That's the one. Or the ones.
Hold it up, because look, every listing sold for that was sold as a set, which our system doesn't pull in. It doesn't pull it in since it tracks individual cover sales only, meaning we only captured one sale per cover. Still, the full set is clearly heating up on the aftermarket, but remember, this top 10 only includes data through Sunday at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So some New York Comic Con exclusives may continue climbing as new sales roll in today. But don't fret, next week's list will give everything a chance to settle. It's going to simmer, guys, revealing which books truly hold strong and which rise even higher. Let's hope that everybody just had an amazing convention. Izzy looking pretty for all of us right there. Yeah, man. Dude, we're gonna see.
I had to show it.
Little known fact: Izzy actually was the art model for that Pop Kill cover.
Yeah, that was
there you go.
You had the pose down perfect.
Wait, where is
yes.
This,
yeah. Here it is.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Dead on. That's it.
But
there's actually there was a metal version of this as well, and that instantly sold out as well. The metal and it was also part of the set. So the set itself was about $80, and it was only limited to 200 copies. They sold on the day on Thursday. On Thursday, they were gone. There was some other. We didn't talk anything about Fame books, but there was some Fame books that also was selling out like that as well. I think made the runners. One of the books that did make the runners up, that was a hot one, was a Flops Department of Truth with the Elvis Presley. That was another book that was a hot item. There was so many books that were just going out the door by Thursday. By Thursday at 12 o'clock, they were all gone. So the secret drops were the ones that really made. So if something made the list this week, think about it. It was within a matter of just a few days that it did it.
Yep. Exactly. Not even a few days. And that's what I was saying is let's give it this week now to simmer and see which ones are really going to hold throughout the week and perform well on the aftermarket. Of course, as I said, those sets, etc., the system in place actually picks up individual sales, right? So it's not going to pick up sets that are selling on the aftermarket, although that set is selling for quite a premium. All of what I mentioned being north of $200. So we'll see. We're gonna give it a couple more days because New York Comic Con just came to a close last night, and yeah, man, it was absolutely wonderful to see all the posts that everybody was posting. Guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're catching the replay, don't forget, comment below, show some love. Let's go around the horn and say goodnight to everybody. Travis, take it away.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for hanging out with us again tonight. I really appreciate the chat for being lively as always. Thank you, Izzy, for hanging out with us and being the boots on the ground for NYCC. And Lando, thank you for trying, my guy. Have a good
I
week.
will always try. Always. And I'll keep trying. Izzy, take it away, bud.
Same here. Thanks everybody for being a part of the channel, man. Travis is always a blast. Chit-chatting with you during our conversations, our messaging. I was literally just guys, look at this. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And I'm like,
awesome.
Look at this. Look at this. And everybody's like, what? It was, I'm fortunate enough to get to New York Comic Con every year. I don't get to go to San Diego, so I know the feeling. Next year it's probably gonna be a little different, and I do get to go to a lot of shows. I know a lot of people have been talking about Baltimore. Baltimore will be coming this weekend. I will not be able to go to that. I was planning to go, but it's just like New York took me out. It took me out. I knew it was going to as well.
My man's needs some recovery time.
Dude, I got to work a real job. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay. My wife's looking at me like, you going to Baltimore? I was like, I don't know. So I won't be able, most likely I will not be able to go, but then things could change at the last minute. You never know, right? I got to look at the hotel prices. But thanks everybody. Like I said, if you're interested in learning more, just go. I also have a channel like the rest of my fellow cover price guys. So if you want to know a little bit more, you come drop by my channel, and you can check out me on IG as well. Just look up Izzy vs NYC. And you'll see some of the other things that I've been doing. So,
yeah, I'm excited to see all the New York Comic Con stuff that you're going to be dropping content-wise. I want to say one more time, happy Thanksgiving to all my fellow Canucks. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. I am definitely thankful for the chat that shows up every single night, every single week to hang out with us. And, of course, thankful for Izzy, somewhat this guy that's next to me. And, yeah, man. We hope to see you guys back tomorrow night as we bring you the new comic book day picks of the week by Lefteros and Cover Price. So make sure to tune in, hit that bell, and we shall see you tomorrow. Adios.
Bye.